Has Donald Trump seemed a little glitchy lately?
Kamala Harris, have you heard of her? Who, by the way, was just rated by far the most liberal senator in the U.S. Senate. We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela.
The oldest presidential nominee in U.S. history has had an onslaught of gaffes that have people speculating about whether he's mentally fit to serve for 4 more years. Let's look at what has sparked these questions and the legal implications. Welcome into TYT Overruled. I am your host, Adrienne Lawrence.
It's the biggest, because can you imagine your child goes to school and they don't even call you and they change the sex of your child?
Trump has always been comfortable concocting stories to further fearmonger his constituents.
It's crazy. It's like a takeover of our country by people that are coming in, and they're coming in with guns, or they're getting guns after they get in. They have the most powerful weapons you can have.
She's already talking about bringing back the draft. She wants to bring back the draft and draft your child and put him in a war that should never have happened.
He's also never been particularly eloquent, articulate, or simply respectful for that matter.
You can say Kamala, you can say Kamala. I said, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter what I say. I couldn't care less. If I mispronounce it or not, I couldn't care less. Graffiti all over those beautiful marble columns, swastikas. Shifting production to Thailand.
But something seems to have shifted somewhat recently when it comes to Trump, leaving many to speculate that the 78-year-old GOP presidential candidate is maybe on the mental decline.
Residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese. They take in the geese. You know where the geese are? In the park, in the lake. You saw it.
Although Trump forever maintains that he is in peak condition all around, his behavior has been raising questions as to his mental fitness for some time now. For instance, this time last year, many called attention to a seemingly confused Trump short-circuiting during a live speech, appearing to believe that Jeb Bush was president and had gotten us into the Iraq War.
So we start in Iowa, we go to New Hampshire, we come down here. You know, the beauty was when I came here, everyone thought Bush was going to win. And then they took a poll and they found out Trump was up by about 50 points. Everyone said, what's going on right here? They thought Bush, because Bush supposedly was a military person. Great. You know what he was a military? He got us into the Middle East. How did that work out, right? But they all thought that Bush might win. Jeb. Remember Jeb? He used the word Jeb. He didn't use the word Bush. I said, you mean he's ashamed of the last name? And then they immediately started using the name Bush. Never forget it.
Just this week, Trump renewed concerns over his cognitive ability for office when, during a discussion on energy renewal, he said Bagram was in the U.S. state of Alaska. It's a military base in Afghanistan.
Having so much money coming out of the energy, we just have the best. We have Bagram in Alaska. They say it might be as big, might be bigger than all of Saudi Arabia. I got it approved. Ronald Reagan couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. I got it done.
Trump also seems to be pulling names out of thin air that simply do not exist and are in no way related to reality.
The failing New York Times today reports this vicious Venezuela prison gang is, quote, SNCC. I attribute to ICE and Border Patrol. They're incredible people. Not only is Comrade Howard, I mean, if you take a look at this.
With the polls showing that this will be a tight race between Trump and Democratic nominee Kamala Harris, we should discuss the possibilities if Trump takes office only to have cognitive decline. The 25th Amendment outlines 2 paths for replacing a president on account of disability or inability to serve. Option 1 is if the president knowingly bows out due to an unanticipated or anticipated disability. Reagan, Bush, and Biden have pulled this lever when undergoing anesthesia. But if the president isn't all there in the head and won't step down, there's always a second option, but it is a process. To declare the president unfit, the vice president and a majority of either the president's cabinet or another body that's established by law, like a presidential disability review group, they must agree that he's unfit, and then send a message to the president pro tem and the Speaker of the House to that effect. After doing this, the vice president immediately takes power. But it's not over. If the president objects, claiming to be fit for office, well, then the VP and the majority of the cabinet or that body has 4 days to submit a declaration to Congress to the contrary. Then it requires a 2/3 vote of Congress to decide within 21 days that the president is not unfit to serve. But until then, the VP would stay in power. Now back to our hypothetical. Should Trump return to the White House and be without all his marbles, I think that we can all agree that the former president and his ego would never admittedly bow out, making option 1 pretty unlikely. But option 2 may also be a challenge, given that getting 2/3 of Congress to agree on anything is a rare feat. Not to mention that many Democrats may not be keen on having Project 2025 poster boy J.D. Vance as commander-in-chief. So the question becomes, how bad do you think Trump will have to get before Congress could come together to agree that he is unfit to serve? You let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit those like and follow buttons, and thanks for watching.